Fuck. You know what, dude? God fucking damn it. Literally, dude. Literally. Every time I've been doing this with the microphone, it usually just, when I plug it in, it automatically hits the setting. And so I've been checking it still every single time. And it's been on every time. It used to not be that way, but they did some update. And so when I plug it in, it automatically does it. And I've checked every single episode just to make sure. And then this one, plugged it in. Nothing. Did a whole fucking episode. And the microphone wasn't working. So, me? I'm kind of obsessive and a bit of a perfectionist. So, when I started to edit the last video and I heard that it wasn't getting ported through the motherfucking microphone, I said, let's start it again. Shit, dude. Now, that's what's funny too, is I actually hate, like, repeating myself over and over. And a lot of the stuff that I do, is just kind of improv. I will have some idea of what I want to do, but when it gets down to the nitty-gritty, I'm just shooting from the hip, boy. But the only thing that I said in that last episode that I will reiterate right here, right fucking now, this shit's, I have a few different pieces of custom Polo Ralph Lauren gear, And works really well because Polo Bear, your boy Grizzly. But what would be pretty sick is if they incorporated a little alien into some of their logos. Because it would be awesome if I could get a Grizzly Martian custom piece. That would be sick, dude. And I mean, it's not that far-fetched, because they actually do have a lot of little mascots and shit. Not just the bear, but actually a bunch of different animals and shit. And not just the horse, right? Or if they had a cat. Oh, dude. They had a real sick hat that I really wanted to get a while ago, but it was like $100. Still might do it. But it was Polo, and then it was like this wild cat that was on the front of the hat. Just, the print Polo, and then this big-ass logo of this badass-looking cat. And it was almost like the fireworks type of cat look, but it was like orange. And it had it was like kind of scraggly and stuff. It looked sick, dude. But, I'm kind of a swag lord. And I can't help it. It's just baked into me bones. Isn't it so weird, dude? Accents and shit? Because, for me, And for the majority of you listening to me right now, to all of us, it doesn't sound like I'm speaking in an accent. It just sounds like I'm speaking regular shit. But even in our country right here, there's a bunch of different places that start to talk and you go, what the fuck is going on with you? Where are you from, homeboy? Right? And I mean, there's small variations throughout everywhere, right? And then there's some that are pretty prevalent, pretty noticeable. But, you know, what you're listening to me do right now is kind of the typical average American accent. And I mean, even for me, well, like, you know, I was born in California, but I grew up in Idaho. And the people in Idaho don't have much of a different accent. But what they do is say a lot of words in weird ways. And it actually really confused me as a child. Because they would be talking about, we're going up to the creek. And gotta watch out for that will because it's gonna pop off soon. And all this like weird shit. Now, I literally thought there was two different words. I thought there was a creek, and then I thought there was another thing that was similar, but it was called a crick. But no, I started to pay attention, and I heard other words with the double E's, and they were saying, I don't feel like going to the store today. And I would go, wait, did he mean feel? Why is he saying fill? Interesting. So then I put two and two together and I said, God fucking damn it, they mean creek. They're just retarded. Just kidding. Jokes. We're all a little retarded. In our own ways. But yeah, accents are, some of them are better than others, huh? And it's funny, I've been listening to, not even by choice, really, it's just popping up everywhere. Russell Brand. Talking to, like, Piers Morgan and stuff, and talking to everybody, really, but his accent, he's talking about this and that, and talking about the Bible and forgiveness, and he's a changed man. And he's trying to flip through the Bible and look at different excerpts of verses or whatever the fuck they are, because he doesn't actually know what's in the Bible. When people speak with the British English accents, they seem much smarter a lot of times than they actually are. And what is going on with him lately, huh? Because I don't know what happened, but I swear a while ago it came out that he was like getting sued or charged or a combination of, I don't know, something. And I was like, oh, okay. I don't know. Nothing really. Okay, that's all I heard. And then something happened just a week or so ago where it ramped up and everybody is talking about it and shitting all over him and really pissed off at him. 'Cause, you know, he's being charged with doing some not so good things. That's a very nice way to put it. With a 16-year-old girl when he was 30 years old. And apparently, his side of the story, well, I guess it is legal at that age for a consenting person, adult, to participate in, certain activities. But the reason he's getting charged is because the other person says that wasn't consensual. And apparently had to punch him in the stomach to get him to stop doing stuff around her face region. I don't even obviously I could, well, actually there's a couple things. Obviously I could say outright what the fuck. But a lot of people, I hate it if you're actually going to talk about something and you use the words SA, and why can't we just say what we mean anymore? So there's that aspect of it, but the reason I'm being a little coy about it is actually because that kind of stuff really disturbs me. Even talking about it and thinking about it. And so I don't even want to get too graphic. Kind of because it makes me uncomfortable even for myself just talking about it. So, right? And I think a lot of us would probably, you're probably the same way, So, it is so crazy to me that somebody, and I mean, maybe he's innocent, maybe he's guilty, I have no idea. I'll get into that, but the point that I'm making is I don't know how, with that mindset of what I'm just saying about how uncomfortable it actually makes me even talking about shit like that, there's actually people out there that can do the acts and do all that stuff and just feel fine enough to go along with it. That makes no sense to me, dude. If I'm engaging with someone else, it's not gonna make me excited if they're not into it. That's kind of part of the fun and excitement of the whole thing, is that you're into them and they reciprocate and they're into you too. And then it's oh, fuck yeah, cool. Where is that disconnect, dude? Why? I don't get it. I don't understand, guys. But what I will say, too, about old Russell boy, it seems so desperate what he's doing with all of his born-again Christian type of stuff. And his book is literally called How to Become a Christian in 7 days, I think. Homie, that's not a good how-to type of thing. You should be striving your whole life to be Christian-like. An actual, what a good practicing Christian would be like. You should be striving to do that your whole life. And I'm not saying, of course, there's people that claim or are Christians that do horrendous things. That's not what I'm saying. If you're an actual good practicing Christian and you believe in the values and have a sense of morals and ethics of how you should behave in the world, you're going to be, for the most part, a good person, or at least have much better judgment of how you behave and interact with other people in the world. I don't think something like that should have a quick fix. I don't think you should try to figure out how to wash away all those sins in 7 days. So, what the fuck you talking about, homie? I don't get it. I don't get it, dude. But is what it is, huh? All right. Talk to you guys later. Bye.